Uganda, located in the tropics at the very heart of Africa, is cut into two by the equator. Uganda has both dry and wet weather, conducive throughout the year. Uganda's location astride the equator and a wonderful weather make it an all-round tourist destination. She is the Pearl of Africa, with a unique history of young men who were martyred for their faith at the end of the 19th century. This is Namugongo Martyrs Basilica during the 2015 Uganda Martyrs Day celebrations. This year saw the highest attendance record, which was estimated at over 3.5 million pilgrims from different parts of Uganda, East Africa, and overseas. Every 3rd June, pilgrims world over flock Namugongo and other martyrs' sites to commemorate the Uganda martyrs, who were executed by King Mwanga II between 1885 to 1887 in the hope of curbing the spread of Christianity in Buganda Kingdom. It is these spiritual journeys that have seen Uganda break a record as the first African country to host a pope.
It had never been heard of that a pope could go to Africa. It was the first time a pope visited Africa.
At exactly 3:13 p.m. on July 31st, 1969, Pope Paul VI landed at Entebbe International Airport. It was history in the making. Uganda went into records as the first African country a pope had visited. The entire continent celebrated this landmark, with pilgrims converging from all over Africa to witness the historic moment. His first official mass, attended by thousands of believers, was held at Kololo Airstrip, where he consecrated 12 bishops from 7 African countries. His visit lasted 3 days in which he performed many activities. To the delight of Ugandans, in February 1993, Pope John Paul II also visited Uganda. He was welcomed by His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. During his 6-day apostolic visit, he celebrated Mass to mammoth crowds at Gulu, Kasese, Soroti, and Namugongo, where he elevated Namugongo Shrine to a minor basilica. It is not possible to divulge into Uganda Martyrs' story without revisiting their genesis, traceable to 1885 at King Mutesa I's court, Rubaga, where visiting explorer Sir Henry Morton Stanley had come to bid King Mutesa farewell. It is on this occasion that the king requested Stanley to send for teachers who will bring light to his people. 2 years later, the Anglican missionaries arrived in Uganda, followed by the French Catholic missionaries in 1879. As soon as they got to Uganda, both the Anglican and Catholic missionaries not only taught religion, they set up social structures like schools, hospitals, and embarked on construction activities, among other things. Within a short while, the missionaries had converted a number of natives, particularly the king's pages that they had interacted with. Trouble began when the king's subjects, enlightened by Christian teachings, started questioning his unchristian conduct and declined to participate in activities considered evil. This was unheard of in Buganda Kingdom, an absolute monarchy. Joseph Mukasa Balikudembe was the first Catholic martyr to be killed here at the Nachivuvo area on 15th November 1885. Balikudembe, King Mwanga's chief servant, was prosecuted on accusations of trying to poison King Mwanga and spying for the missionaries. He also never shied from telling King Mwanga to change his unchristian ways. The death of Joseph Mukasa Balikudembe did not deter believers from worshipping and studying religion. Hell broke loose when on 25th May 1886, while returning from a failed hunting expedition, King Mwanga found all pages had gone to study religion without his permission. He speared to death 17-year-old Deneth Sebugwawo, blaming him for having taken his favorite page, Muafu, to study religion. The following day, a meeting comprising all the Saza chiefs and decision-makers in Buganda was convened at Munyonyo Palace to decide what to do with the converts, who were now prioritizing religion to the service of their king. The meeting ruled that the converts denounce their religion or face persecution. They swore to die by their religion. With the believers refusing to denounce their faith and King Mwanga determined to stay in control of his kingdom, the martyrs' fate was sealed. King Mwanga ordered that they be executed at Namugongo, the execution venue.
If the Kabaka said you are too bad to be killed elsewhere, and this is the group to which the martyrs belong, then you too would be brought to Namugongo execution site to be burnt alive to death.
Andrew Kagwa was killed Wednesday, 26 May 1886, here at Munyonyo on Prime Minister Mukasa's orders. On the same day, Mukajanga killed Pontain Gondwe along Salama Road as the converts, flanked by executioners, made their way to Namugongo. Noah Mawagali is another Christian who enthusiastic executioners speared to death on Sunday 30th May 1886 and left his body in the wilderness for dogs to feast on. For a full week, the prisoners were kept at Namugongo as Mukajanga and his assistants prepared for the execution. These included collecting vast quantities of firewood to create a pyre 30 feet high and 20 feet wide. The preparations were completed on 2nd June 1886. After preparations on Thursday 3rd June, 33 prisoners were killed. 31 in the mass fire execution, while 17-year-old Mbaga Tuzinde and Charles Ruanga were executed independently. At the end of King Mwanga's persecution of martyrs, there were altogether 45 martyrs, 22 Catholics and 23 Anglican. These included the 50-year-old Matia Mulumba and 14-year-old Chizito. Between 1874 and 1876, over 100 Muslims were estimated to have met their death on the orders of King Mutesa I at different venues, and the mass burning of 70 of them here at the current Anglican shrine, where the other Christian converts were a decade later in 1886 also burnt.
Some Muslim preachers came from Egypt, and they had heard that in Africa, the country called Uganda, there is a king who is a leader of Muslim, but is not what? Circumcised. They said, that one is a kafiri, a mukafiri. So they came and they said, if you are not circumcised, one, we cannot pray behind you as our imam. Two, we cannot eat meat that is slaughtered by somebody. So 70 Muslims who refused to eat and who refused to stand behind him. That is the first killing, and in this very place.
In the interest of protecting and documenting this important heritage, Masjid Nur Shuada'u, the Uganda Martyrs Mosque at Namugongo, was built in 1968.
In Islam, somebody who dies in the war of religion is a martyr in English. But in Arabic, a martyr is called shahid. But we don't call it a pilgrimage to this place, because in Islam, pilgrimage is only made to the holy places in Mecca and Medina.
The martyr's death was not in vain. Religion continued spreading in Uganda and beyond, and currently many churches are named after the Uganda martyrs. They are a source of global Christian faith inspiration. On 6 June 1920, Pope Benedict beatified all 22 Catholic martyrs. Later, on 18 October 1964, Pope Paul VI canonized them. On 20th October 2002, Pope Paul II beatified Daudi Okello and Gildo Irwa, the young catechist from Paimol, Gulu, who were speared to death in 1918 for refusing to denounce their religion, insisting on teaching the Word of God. It is all these believers that have made Uganda a global religious destination that is going to see the country break a record of being the only African country to host 3 sitting popes come 27th November 2015. In October 2014, while on a visit to the Vatican, the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, extended an invitation to Pope Francis to visit Uganda, which the Pontiff wholly accepted.
The reason was to come and celebrate with us the 50 years of the canonization. He could not come on the exact date, I think, but around, soon after, which is this time.
At this altar, above the blessed spring, where the executioners washed their hands after torturing and killing the martyrs, Pope Francis will hold the official Mass. Ongoing rehabilitation works will see this place set up with an amphitheater arrangement, complete and ready to host the Pope's official Mass, expected to be attended by approximately 2 million people. The forgotten shrine of Munyonyo is the first place Pope Francis will visit after State House.
Because the story of the martyrdom started from Munyonyo Palace, and that's where the king took the decision to have all Christians martyred.
The Pope is coming to bless a cornerstone for the church, which is the church itself is a Thanksgiving monument for the canonization of Uganda martyrs, which the Pope is coming to celebrate.
It is also here that the converts, Catholic and Anglican, united and declared their willingness to die for their religion. It is therefore little wonder that it is here that the Pope will meet both the Anglican and Catholic clergy.
We are planning to have an ecumenical time with him. Some trees will be planted in honor of the Pope's visit and to even forge our ecumenical spirit. So I feel happy that I'll be welcoming the Pope.
Indeed, the Uganda martyrs established a strong bond between the Catholic and Anglican Church. This bond explains Pope John Paul II's visit to the Anglican Church in 1993 to recognize the Anglican martyrs. Like Pope John Paul II, Pope Francis is also set to visit the Anglican martyrs' site.
This the place is where all martyrs were burned or killed. They were here, the 12 were Roman Catholic, and 13 Anglican or Protestant. They were burned in this place.
we started as a province to develop Namugongo Martyrs Shrine of the Anglican side, and we started to develop a museum.
With full awareness of the global interest in the Pope and the martyrs, Uganda swung into action and a committee was established to prepare for this historic visit.
The main purpose of the Apex Committee for the visit of the Pope has been to coordinate the efforts of the Church and those of government, non-government organizations, and other bodies involved in the arrangements, and also to ensure that our work here in Uganda is directly linked up and regularly connected with Rome.
Uganda Tourism Board decided to take on the Uganda Matters story as a signature event. We have done product development, we have mapped out all the sites where this event started. We have actually done some site activations all the way from Munyonyo, where the event began in 1885, through Entebbe, up through the different sites. And we want to see that this product effectively becomes another global event.
This is now going to be a focus of attention, and of course, it leaves a lot for us to capitalize on, even when the Pope is gone.
Pope Francis has visited different countries and has become a global icon. A philanthropist with great concern for the poor, with a demonstrated commitment to combat poverty, which he cites as the cause of evil, Pope Francis has won the hearts of people, Catholic believers or not, and his visit brings hope to Uganda. On the other hand, the Pope and international pilgrims who will witness his spiritual journey to the home of Uganda martyrs can be sure to enjoy the Pearl of Africa's beautiful hot and cool climate, fresh fruits, vegetables, and a variety of cuisines, landmark features like the source of the Nile, the evergreen vegetation, wildlife, and nature. Most importantly, a calm home experience in Africa's most hospitable country, whose warm, welcoming people will always make you feel at home.